Hello everybody and welcome back to my N-Scale Union Pacific Willow Creek subdivision layout. My name is Scott, the owner and builder of the layout, and I got a little video put together for you just how I operate my oil trains here on the layout. We're using buffer cars and bits and pieces like that, so I hope you enjoy the video. Please, if you do like it, subscribe, throw any comments down there. Big thank you already to my subscribers at the moment. It's very thank you very much. It gives me a lot of motivation to keep going and putting these videos together for you. So anyways, beside all that, we'll just get on with the video and we'll show you how I operate the oil trains on the Willow Creek Sub. Alright, so first up on our list here, we'll just go our paperwork. Today's train order, we're going to do train number the 585 from Oakhurst to Mojave, and then from Mojave to Oakhurst will be the 586. So this is going to be a complete round trip. Here we've got the oil, return is 586 as I just said there. List of instructions of what we have to do. Our locomotive today, we've got a GP40 677, got the locomotive card, everything with it. And also, because it's an oil train, flammables, I need buffer cars. So I have these two buffer cars. I've got the couple of box cars there, and they have buffer car cards in them. Because this train will go from Oakhurst, Mojave back to Oakhurst, these buffer cars, because they're not routed anywhere, they'll end up back at Oakhurst and they have to be spotted back in at the same place where I picked them up. So got all the paperwork and that ready, so we'll get in and we'll start making some switches. Okay, so here we are. This is the locomotive 677, the GP40 I mentioned just before. We're just going to go into the team track here, and we're going to pick up these buffer cars, and so we can start making these moves. So I'll just bring it in, make sure I get a good hook. And you know, the camera works quite shaky because I actually went and broke my little tripod that I use for filming, so I'm really pleased about that. So I'm gonna have to go out and buy a new tripod. So I'm trying to do this with one hand again, and yeah, no, I'm absolutely thrilled I broke my tripod. So, but anyway, we're going to take one car out, one of these cars here. And we're going to go pull two, we got two tank cars over here in the fuel facility there. So we're going to take two out and we're going to swap them with two over at Mojave. So we'll go ahead and we'll make the cut there between the box cars there, and we'll go pull our first string of tanks. So with the cut being done, we'll just nice and easily pull forward there. We just need to clear that switch. This is the team track we're borrowing these buffer cars from, and you can fast forward if you want. I do my operations scale speed, so I could get a little bit boring for you. You can skip forward a few seconds if you want, just enough to clear that switch. And the conductor's there, he's just bent the switch, and radio back for a push back into the oil sidings there. I was quite lucky actually, because when I did break my tripod, the whole phone and everything fell on the ground, so I was expecting a cracked screen and everything as well, but I was quite lucky then. But oh well, I hope it's not too shaky for you. So this oil depot here at Oakhurst has got a derail in it and also a fence, so we're just going to stop short of the fence there and get the supervisor in charge of interstate oil there to come out and remove that derail for us. So we'll just pull short there. So the the derail gets removed. Push that back out of the way, and then they have to come and open the fence for us. Okay, so we got all access to that fuel yard now, so I'll just shove back and we'll make a hook onto those tank cars over there. Let's see if we can get a good hook. Beautiful. Okay, so when we're done that, the conductor obviously hooking the cars up, we'll pump the air up in those tank cars there, and we'll get ready to pull them out, and we'll go and hook onto that other buffer car that we left on the team track. So with our air pressure and everything all done up, so the headlight on, let's give it a little power, and just pull this string out. Let's get that last tank car just clear of that switch there now. Okay, so once that's clear of the switch, look her over and we'll let's push back into that team track. We'll get our last buffer car, the last box car there. And hopefully we get a good hook on that. Beautiful. Alright, so now that is they're hooked up there, we got the box car, the two tank cars in the centre, and the box car, the buffer car on the other edge there. So I'll just go ahead and I'll do the paperwork, make sure that all the car cards match up with the numbers on the cars that I got. Alright, so with all that paperwork all done, everything's matching up, and we'll have got clearance to exit the yard here at Oakhurst, take the main, and head on our way over to Mojave. Okay, so here we are, we've finally come into Mojave here. It's going to come into the yard, and we got the tank cars over the far back there next to those oil tanks there, so we're going to replace those two with the two that we've just brought over. So we'll pull up there and we're going to get rid of that the blue box car at the back, the blue buffer car there, and we'll use those two tanks there, two tank cars, to rip out the other two tank cars and replace them, and then sort of change the train around, change directions. Okay, so we've made the cut on that blue box car there, and I'll just bring it forward a little bit. We'll switch it down into the oil sidings down there. That'll do us about there. I'm just going to push back, make a hook onto those tank cars. That should about do it. I think we got a good. Just give it a stretch. Right, now I'm going to pull these out and replace them with the ones we've just brought over. So one thing I noticed with these cars, especially in N scale there, I've definitely got to add a bit of weight to them because they do get that slinky effect. These are micro trains couplers, and yeah, they do sort of look like a bit of a slinky as you pull them through, but I'll get around to adding weight. I've got little scales and everything and weights already, I just haven't got around to putting them in yet. I'm going to pull all of these out all the way through. So what we're doing is we're just going to couple on the two cars that we just pulled out of the fuel facility there. And we're going to couple on to that buffer car that we cut out just before. So bring it in nice and slow, and hopefully we get a good hook. Perfect. And with those two cars hooked up, I just made a cut there, cut from the two tank cars I've just pulled out, and I'll just pull that forward just enough to clear the switch and reverse them back up into the fuel farm there. Alrighty, cleared that switch, and we're just going to push up back into to drop these two off. It's a little bit out of focus there. That's better. Yeah, so we're just gently pulling into the fuel depot there. We'll spot these couple of cars. And once that's done, we'll make a cut there off that last buffer car and we'll pull forward. And then that's the first move done. Just going to pull that boxcar all the way out, and then we're going to hook that boxcar onto the rear of those tank cars there, and this will be our buffer car for the return trip back to Oakhurst. Right, now we're just giving a nice little shove back onto those tanks. Bring it back. Hopefully I get a good hook on this tank car. Beautiful couple. So now I've hooked on to, I've got buffer car on each end of that train there, and I've pulled it forward just a bit there so I can do a run around with the locomotive. And the locomotive will be sent over to the loco depot there, and it'll get turned ready for the trip back. And it takes about should be no, sorry, I'm just thinking out loud here, don't mind me. So I'm going to bring the locomotive all the way up the yard ladder here up to the entrance to my loco shed, and we'll get it and we'll spin her on the turntable, and we'll get it facing for the other way, and we'll head back up to Oakhurst, where these cars will get spotted back into interstate oil there. Those buffer cars will get returned, and that should be the end of the service for the day. Just enough to clear that switch back there. I think that's enough there. And we'll bring her back into the turntable. That's the yard office in the front there. I did that renovation on it a few weeks ago. Go check that out in the in my videos there if you want to. Okay, so the locomotive's all been turned around there, and we're going to head back over to our train in the background there. We're going to couple onto that and we'll get ready for departure. Yeah, I reckon that'll do there. And we'll just shove back and we'll couple up to them. Alrighty, now we'll go on to brake test, and what I mean by brake test is I just make sure that all my paperwork's in line, all my car cards, numbers of the car cards match the freight cars, and everything is in order, and we're all ready to go. So I'll just go ahead and do that, and then we'll depart out of Mojave, headed for Oakhurst. And everything's in order, so we got the all clear to depart, so we'll just start taking off here. Alright, so finally after all that we've actually made it all the way back to Oakhurst here. And just pulling into the Oakhurst yard here, we'll make a cut off that blue box car, run around the train, and we'll push those oil cars into the interstate oil siding there. And once all they're done, then we can return these buffer cars back to the team track where I originally got them from. Alright, so as you saw, we ran around the consist there, and what I've done is I pulled it back out to the throat. And just going to shove these, the first buffer car anyway, back into its original spot. And then once the buffer car has been spotted, I can take the buffer car card out of that waybill pocket, and the car that we were using is going back to normal service. As right now it's going over one of the very few, I think there's only two, there might be three inchel frog turnouts on the layout, but they don't seem to give me any grief at the moment. As soon as they start giving me grief, I'll rip them out, but they're going alright at the moment. So that'll about do. I'll make a cut there on the buffer car if I can with my left hand. Okay, and we'll just pull those tank cars out. If you know of a better way to add weight to tank cars, drop something in the comments there. Box cars, pretty much straightforward, but tank cars, if you got any good ideas, let me know. Alright, so we just cleared that switch. Now we're just going to start shoving back up and towards the fuel facility up there. And then we're back pretty much where we started off, and the interstate fuel depot here at Oakhurst. So I'm off camera at the moment, but these rail cars are coming in. I'll stop short of the derail there. Conductor goes and talks to whoever it is there at the fuel depot to unlock the gate for us, and we'll unlock that derail, get that out of the way so we can continue, and that back, and hopefully they open the gate for us. And we're all clear, so we've just been given the go ahead, and we'll keep pushing on into the siding. Once we get these cars in here and spotted to where they need to be, we'll make a cut there at that box car, and make sure you set the handbrakes and all that sort of stuff on those cars. And we're able to go and get rid of the box car. We'll put that back where we first got it, and just like before, return the buffer car card out of it, and this box car will go back into normal service. Oh yeah, also the interstate oil site rep has to come out and close the gate too, so. Okay, so we got that buffer car all the way back past there, and that's about ready to be pushed back into the team truck. After that's been done, then that's it for the session. It actually worked out a little bit better than what I was actually expecting, apart from me breaking my tripod and having to rest my phone on bits and pieces to do the filming. But apart from that, everything so far has gone to plan, so that's actually pretty good. I'm happy with that. So we get this box car in and see if we can and that's pretty much it. So these two box cars will go back to revenue service. The tank cars have all been swapped out. the empty ones for the fuel ones. Sorry, yes, we did bring full ones back. We took empty ones to Mojave and we bought full ones back. So that's basically how I do my oil operations. And the buffer car cars, they come out and they just get put aside until the next oil service is on, and these will go back to where I found them. Okay, so that pretty much wraps it up for that video. Thank you very much for sticking around and seeing how I do my operations here on my layout. I really hope you enjoyed that, and I hope that you got to have a little bit more of an insight on how I run my trains and how the system runs. Thank you so much for sticking around. Yes, it was a little bit of a long video, and it did seem to drag on there for a bit, but please, if you did like it, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and you'll be right in the firing line for all new videos coming up. And definitely got a fair few videos coming up. Behind me you see Advanced Metals. Where am I? Behind me here in Mojave, I've got a few building flats there. I'm looking at extending that industry, but that possibly could be a new video coming up. I'm not too sure when I'll get around it. But yeah, awesome for sticking around, everyone, and really hope you enjoyed making the video. And yeah, I will see you all on the next one. Thanks, everyone.